What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about 10 Funko Pops that have gone up in value recently, so without any further ado, let's get it started. Here we go. So I haven't done one of these lists in a while, guys, but I went on over to Instagram and asked you, what pops that you've noticed that have gone up in price lately, and I have a couple that I've noticed, on my own, so everybody that submitted suggestions, thank you, I appreciate it. But let's dive into pop number one, and I think this might be the most recent pop that was just released. This is the Funko Shop exclusive Dexter. Estimated value over on Pop Price Guide is at 38 bucks, but the trending value right now is at 45. And you can see with the recent solds that are on eBay, that's going for around that $45 range, but there are plenty that are listed on eBay right now for around that same price. When I looked it up, it said there was over 173. So I think it's fair to say that there's a lot of them out there. This is just an interesting case, guys, of a recent Funko Shop exclusive going up in price. Why it's gone up in value? I mean, the Dexter line is very popular. It hasn't been out for super long, but people have been asking for Dexter Pops for like a really long time. I don't believe there to be a ton of collectibles of the show Dexter. I think they actually just came out with a kind of like a revival series not that long ago, if I'm not mistaken. So the hype for Dexter's back up. This is a fun variant. People love kind of the bloody variants of certain like horror kind of things and stuff like that. So I can see why this one's pretty sought after. Do I see this one going up in value even more? If they don't restock it, yes. If they do restock it, it will definitely go down in value because there's more of them out there. But this is definitely a cool one to see go up. All right, coming up next, guys, we have a 3-pack exclusive to Barnes & Noble, and this is the Schuyler sisters from Hamilton. Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy. I had to make sure that I had that right there. But estimated value on Pop Price Guide is at $65, but the trending value from what I'm seeing is at $120. And you can see some of the most recent eBay solds, like I said, upwards of 150, low end of 100. And then as far as results and everything like that, I didn't actually see a lot of them being like listed on eBay. It says 28 right here, but I think that's a combo of all the different pops that are out there. So as far as what I could see, I think it was definitely less than that, maybe like 10. Why this one has gone up, guys, it's kind of the same case as Dexter. There's probably not a lot of collectibles out there. Hamilton's always super popular. I mean, ever since it premiered on Broadway, like a couple years back or however long it was. And I've noticed a good handful of the Hamilton pops actually go up in price. This one definitely makes sense to me because if you want the Schuyler sisters, you definitely want to have them in a 3-pack. I mean, they have a whole song together and everything like that. And so this is a no-brainer to me why this has gone up. Do I see this one going up even more? I don't know. I think it probably will stay around that $100 range. I think it's probably definitely one of the more sought after Hamilton pops for sure, and probably one of the more expensive because it's all kind of those 3 characters together. But I don't know, this one's kind of an interesting one, and I don't feel like you see, 3-packs very expensive that often. So this is a cool one. It makes sense though. All right, up next, guys, we have a NBA pop. I feel like I never talk about NBA pops on here, but this was one that I noticed myself, and this, guys, is SGA Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I probably said that wrong. From the Thunder. I think this might be his first or second pop, I'm not sure, but estimated value is at $16, but the trending value actually from what I've seen from recent sold eBay listings is at 40. And we can see right here, guys, the recently solds, like I said, upwards of 50, lower end 30, so that's where you get that $40 average. And there's not a ton of them listed out there. There was actually a good amount of autograph ones, which I think would make a pretty cool piece to your collection. But why this one has gone up, guys, so if you guys didn't know, I'm gonna call him SGA so I don't have to say his name all the time, but SGA or Shai just won MVP. Also, the fact that the Thunder are going to the finals and the team is doing extremely well is probably why this one has gone up. And like I said, I want to say that this is the first SGA pop that is out there, so that might be why it's pretty popular. I don't know how widely released all the different NBA pops are, like when they make them, if they don't make a ton of them, but I think it's just due to the recent hype of him winning the MVP, his team being in the finals. He's definitely in the national spotlight. I don't imagine that there's a lot of different things other than like autographed cards and jerseys of things to collect of his. So this is definitely something that's pretty unique. And do I see this maintaining its value? Absolutely. Until they make more SGA pops, it definitely, I think, will maintain around that $40 value, even go up a little bit. All right, this one, maybe I've talked about this one before. I can't remember, guys, but this is a Pirates of the Caribbean pop. Estimated value is at $41, trending for around that same value, but this is the ghost of Will Turner. And you can see the recent eBay listings are about at that $40 price range. And there's not many actually like listings right now to buy right now on eBay. I saw a lot of out-of-box ones, but not a ton of inbox, maybe like around like 12 or so that were listed. Now, why this one has gone up, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, this is the only version of Orlando Bloom's character of Will Turner that you can get in Funko Pop form, even though this is from, I want to say it's the fourth movie, if I'm not mistaken, which surprises me that we don't have another Will Turner pop other than this one. But I think from what I've seen, I don't know, the Pirates of the Caribbean pops, definitely a good amount of them gone up in value. And since this is the only version of Will Turner, I can definitely see why it's a little bit more valuable. Do I see it going up even more? I mean, if he comes back in some fashion, like in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, if they keep making those, then maybe, but I think it probably maintains around this price. They're probably not making any Will Turner pops anytime soon. So I think for the time being, it should be, you know, a mid-range, like a mid-level grail around that $40 range. All right, this one's a cool one, guys. This is from How to Train Your Dragon. This is the Walmart exclusive Toothless. Estimated value and pop price guide value are the exact same at $75. We can see the recent eBay listings, $75 to $80. And guys, there wasn't a ton of like listings out there to buy this one. I only found a handful, and I only listed this one right here because when I looked up like the listings, it would come up with other Toothless pops. But yeah, there's maybe only like 4 of them that I could find that were for sale. But why this one has gone up, I mean, there's the How to Train Your Dragon live action movie that's coming out. I think it's this weekend or maybe next. And people really love Toothless, guys. A lot of those original How to Train Your Dragon pops definitely have some pretty good value. This one is unique because it's exclusive to Walmart. So I would imagine that they probably didn't make a ton of these. Definitely a little bit harder to find. I don't know if I've ever seen this one in person. I don't even think I remember seeing it at Walmart back in the day. So it is definitely very limited, you know, with the hype of How to Train Your Dragon, even Epic Universe with that opening up, you know, the new Universal theme park, all the How to Train Your Dragon stuff, like hype for it is at an absolute high. And I think this definitely maintains its value and goes up even more. This is one of the more valuable and harder to find Toothless pops. And just because it's exclusive, I think it will always have some good value. This was an interesting one that has gone up recently, guys. This is a pop from Bridgerton. This is Anthony Bridgerton. Estimated value and the trending value is same at $90. You can see actually there were some listings that sold for like $100 or whatever, and then there were some at that $90 range. And when I looked up to see what ones were for sale, there was only like 3 of them. I don't think there's a lot of them out there. I want to say that this came out in 2003, like this series of pops. So I mean, you know, it's a little bit older kinda. I don't think they've been remaking these or coming out with like, you know, reprints of these unless they have a restock announced, but I couldn't find any. But Bridgerton is a very popular series that's over on Netflix, guys. People absolutely love it. I think they're coming out with this new season maybe next year. They definitely are taking a break for sure. I imagine though that there's probably not a lot of things to collect from this show, and the fact that, you know, he's probably the main character. I've never seen Bridgerton, but if I had to guess, his name is in the title right there and everything like that. But I have noticed some other Bridgerton pops go up. This one seems to be the one that's one of the more valuable ones. But you'll have to let me know in the comment section below, are you collecting these pops? Have you noticed these go up in value? And do you think these will keep maintaining this value? If they don't make any new ones, I would think it would. All right, this one, guys, it's kind of, I would consider this one on the rise. So this is the infamous Iron Man pop. This is the glow in the dark PX previews exclusive. Estimated value and trending value are around the same at around $50. But I mean, you can see how it's gone up, you know, and down a little bit and back up again on that chart. But yeah, it sells for around that $50 range. Tons of different listings out there, guys, because I think they made a bunch of these pops, but they're all listed for around anywhere between like $35 for some bids and everything like that, all the way up to like $80 is what I'm seeing. But plenty of them to be had to buy. And I mean, this one's a no-brainer why this one has gone up with Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom, and it's also kind of a mix of, you know, he played Iron Man as well, so it's like a mix of 2 of his characters that he's had within the MCU. So it's kind of one of those special pops, special cases or whatever. But do I see this one going up even more? I don't know. I think it probably maintains around that $40 to $50 range, but with the fact, you know, that, you know, he's back in the MCU as Dr. Doom, I think this is probably going to be one of the more sought after Dr. Doom pops because it's kind of a mix of those 2 characters, but still a fun one, and it definitely makes sense why it's trending in value. All right, this one I got suggested to a couple times, but has some decent value. This is the Blacklight Xenomorph that came out for Scare Fair at Hot Topic, I want to say last year, and the trending value and estimated value are the same, around $34, and we can see that it, you know, it was going for around, you know, $15, $20, and it's doubled, and it's going for around $35, which is pretty cool. And there's not a ton of them out there that are actually that you can buy on eBay right now. I only found about 20 listings. But why this one has gone up, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's one of the more unique alien pops that are out there, or xenomorph pops, since there's a good handful of them out there. I think this lends to the Blacklight very well, with the green as the skin, the blue is like, you know, the skull and stuff like that. I think it's more of a unique Blacklight pop, and it definitely makes sense. Do I see this one going up even more? Maybe down the road. I'm not sure how many of these were made for Hot Topic when these came out. I don't think they would restock them, maybe because it was like a special event pop, but who knows? Hot Topic's notorious for restocking things, but I think it'll probably maintain around that $30 to $40 price range. It's just a fun xenomorph pop. The colors are really cool and the mold is really great, so I think that's a recipe for a decent value pop. All right, last one that I have on the list, guys, was one that I didn't know about. This is the What We Do in the Shadows. I want to count right here, 5-pack. Yeah, just making sure. Estimated value, they have it at $230. It's going for around that, at around like $210. But yeah, you can see the sold listings right here, and also the ones that are available to buy. There's not a ton of them out there. I can only find 15 of them. But on that graph, you can see that this one totally shot up within this year. I want to say that the show ended in December of 2024. And so maybe that's why, you know, that actually shot up in price quite a bit, because the show ended, and I can kind of see where that would correlate with the price going up right when that show ended. But this was very popular and a lot of people really like the show. I think you can get the pops individually as well, and some of those actually have some pretty good value too. But I think this has a glow in the dark element as well, whether or not like somebody's like eyes glow or something, I'm not entirely sure. So that makes it a little bit more unique. Do I see this maintaining its value? Absolutely, guys. I think this was a Walmart exclusive. I never saw it in stores. I think this was only available to buy online. If it was available in stores, I don't think there was a lot of them out there. But either way, with the popularity of the show, with, you know, people probably looking for collectibles of it, they want all the people together in a 5-pack, kind of like the Hamilton that they want him in a 3-pack. I definitely see this maintaining around that $200 value, and this is a cool one to see. And that, my friends, is going to do it for some pops that have gone up in price within the past couple months. You'll have to let me know in the comment section below if you notice any Funko Pops in your collection go up in price. I'll try and at least do this video maybe like once a month if I can, if I get enough suggestions and everything like that. So like I said, leave them down below if you've noticed anything. But thank you guys so much for watching. Any of you guys are awesome and the best. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos like this one here. But like always, guys, remember to be kind to one another, always promote positivity. I will see you in the next video. Catch you guys later.